Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am eternally on Saturn, or Saturn for short, and today I'm introducing a brand new series titled Digging Up Dirt. In this series I will talk about pop culture or internet feuds and drama while building different things in Minecraft. So this is my first time doing this obviously, and I don't know how often I want to do this series, so this is just going to be a trial video. And in today's episode, we're talking about Dad's Cupcakes, or most famously known as Barnyard. I don't know whether to call her Cupcakes or Cupcake, so just to make it easier for myself, I'm just going to call her Cupcake. Chapter 1, Background. To my understanding, Cupcake prefers she/her pronouns, so I will respect that. According to famous birthdays and Cupcake herself, she is currently 23 years old, born November 7th, 2002. Although this is largely discussed amongst her community, she has stated that her birthplace is Atlanta, Georgia. Originally, she was an Instagram/TikTok personality going by the name of datscupcakez, going viral for her hair tutorials and outfits. Her first post on Instagram under this handle was in January of 2020. During this time, Cupcake was about 18 to 19 years old. Chapter 2, 2021. What a time. As stated previously, Cupcake originally went viral for her hair tutorials, outfits, and in this story's case, funny video bloopers. Although this soon wouldn't be all that she was known for. From time to time, Cupcake would go live on Instagram and BeGo Live, a live streaming app. During these live streams, she would interact with fans, fellow content creators, etc. For the most part, these live streams would be light-spirited, comedic, and riddled with entertaining drama. But today, I want to focus on just one part, the drama. During one of these BeGo live streams, Cupcake is seen wearing a wig, specifically a straight black bob and doing blackface.
Dora Black.
At the time, this was very strange to fans because she had never done anything like this before. In 2021, when this occurred, she was asked to address this, stating that it was all a false narrative.
Y'all are trying to push a false narrative about me. First, it was a blackface. Yeah, just click on my profile.
I did some digging and never found an official apology for this incident. Surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, incidents like these continue to occur with things such as transphobia and colorism. Side note, I made sure to fact check this and it was all true. Even some of these being dated as recent as this month. Now, back to 2021. Another controversy that happened around this time was when she was caught being transphobic. Cupcake is seen in an Instagram live saying the T slur.
Now what's the transphobia? Fucking tranny.
Now, when asked to address this, she stated that her and her friend were reading each other and her friend had no issue with being called that.
We were on live and we were having a Kiki reading session and she was talking about me. I was talking about her. She said something nice and I said what I said. Yes, I did. And we laughed about it. So what? She didn't take it no way. We keyed.
But to no surprise, the context did not help her case in the slightest. Again, no official apology found after doing some research. Now, to wrap up this chapter, we need to discuss the final major incident from this time, the colorism. Now, this one is not in video form because she posted this as a comment. As seen in the screenshot, she replies to a hate comment saying, "Why you so?" black circle emoji. Now, this is obviously a cheap way to hide the fact that she was trying to call this person out for being so black. Again, no apology. Now, she was also caught being misogynistic, but we'll discuss that later. Seriously, at this point, she's playing the fastest cancellation simulator and is #1 on the leaderboard. Now, to my knowledge, there was allegedly an incident where she was caught being a groomer, but I haven't done research about that and don't know if it's true, so I will not talk about that. Chapter 3, Intermission. Where is she now? Before I speak about the rest of the drama that I have listed, I want to talk about where she is now. As of July 20th, Cupcake now has over 600,000+ followers on TikTok and has a separate TikTok page where she goes live. She is currently most active on Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. She is still a content creator, but is now widely known for her lip syncing videos and adult content. Where she lives today is unknown to me, although I did find a Facebook account that specifies Midwest Wyoming. However, I don't believe it's her real Facebook account, so I won't use that as evidence. And if you're wondering, yes, she is just as problematic as she was in 2021. Chapter 4, Bad Explanations. Fast forwarding to February 2026, she becomes viral again for a blooper reel she posted in 2021 where she was showcasing a red and black tracksuit, which is where the famous mdo sound comes from.
No! Wait.
And this is what started the second downfall of Cupcake, making this living proof that digital footprint is alive and well. With this video becoming popular, people started reposting her old posts from 2021/2022, including the other famous video from this time where she calls a hater barnyard.
What the fuck am I supposed to do, barnyard? Fuck!
When that video went viral again around March, people then started to go back to even more old videos of hers, leading up to what we just talked about in chapter 2. Now, remember what I said about her still being problematic? Well, I was not exaggerating. There's been many more instances of misogyny, racism, ableism, and she's even said that she didn't care about Palestine. First, we should continue where we left off, starting with the misogyny. In a comment, she responds to someone who said, "'Cause you hate on women but want to look like one so bad." To which she then responds with this statement. The mention of smelling like copper and pennies like a monthly due light bill is most obviously a reference to not wanting to be a woman because they have periods, which is not the only time she has said something like this. Now, I only have the cropped version of this comment, but we can assume what the original comment said. Again, no apology. And obviously, no remorse either. Secondly, we should talk about the racism. Now here, a person commented, "Ooh, I can smell the funk," along with an edited picture of Cupcake. To which she then responds with, "You're Mexican, that's a read in itself." And did she apologize for this? Say it with me. Obviously not. Now, this next one may be a little bit ambiguous, but you can tell what she was doing here.
I done tried it with the racism.
Pointing to her eyes when the song mentions being Chinese? Right. Again, when talking about this literally being everything so far on this list, apparently the racism was a false narrative and something the public was lying about to make her look bad.
Y'all done tried it with the blackface.
You just click on my profile.
Y'all done tried it with the colorism. Y'all done tried it with the misogynistic. Y'all done tried it with the racism. At this point, y'all done tried it with the whole motherfucking dictionary. At this point.
Fucking tranny.
On a TikTok live earlier this month, she went on a rant about not indulging in her audience's ignorance and false allegations. Which, if you didn't think is already bad enough, she went on to say this.
The media for about 2 days, and I out of nowhere, it's a new allegation. You bitches dumb, stupid, and fucking retarded. I promise. And actually, I don't even like using that word, the R word. I actually cuss people out for even using that. So the fact I even just said that, I do take full accountability. Get the fuck.
She immediately took it back and says that saying something like that is out of body for her. But if it is, why did it come out so smoothly? Mind you, her using that word was also directed towards the audience. Finally, the last thing I have listed is her being ignorant about Palestine. She was on a TikTok live a little while back and said this.
So with the bombing stuff, I don't really care because I'm not the one getting bombed. So take what y'all want with that and shove it up your ass.
Obviously, she can't do anything because she doesn't want to try. Supporting Palestine doesn't mean you need to donate, because posting about it, showing support, and actually using your platform to raise awareness about it does help, but she doesn't care enough. She did not speak about this any further. Now, this is editing Saturn. I want to go on a little bit of a tangent here unscripted before I move on to chapter 5. Um, I want to say this. She, how do I say this? With her case, it's a big thing about having a fake personality. And this has been discussed amongst her community before as well. She tries too hard to be funny. She's a lol cow. And people have mentioned this so many times. But she just continues to say that it's her real personality and that she really does talk like this. But that's just not true at all. The problem with this is not the fact that she's trying to be funny, because anybody can be funny. You just need to practice and, do other things besides be problematic. You know, I say this with the I say this with a lot of love in my heart. She just tries too hard. Cupcake is and could be a great person. But the fact that she does things like this while simultaneously trying to portray that she's something that she is not just makes it so much worse for her. Because you can see that before she went problematic around 2021, you can see that she was like a nice person who actually tried to make entertaining content. And then she resorted to what she is now, a weird person. And this is not the first time we've seen a case like this in social media history. There's been a lot of lol cows, but if I really had to name one off the top of my head, Cupcake is the only one I can think of. It's honestly, like, I don't know. She makes herself look so confident, and she talks about people, I don't believe I'm even saying that correctly, about how their parasociality just makes it worse for her when making content. But it's like, when it comes to you, we need to be parasocial, because look at the things you've done and how you've reacted to them when people bring it to you and talk about it with you. You say, oh, this didn't happen, this is a false narrative, people are lying about me, and people are trying to make me look like a bad person. Well, because you are a bad person. Nobody's lying about that. Nobody's pushing a false narrative about you. If everything in this list was a false narrative, then sue me, I guess. But no, there's utter proof. And the fact that she believes in her head, without even joking, like she fully believes in her head that she is not in the wrong for any of this, just proves how delusional she is. And honestly, we should not even be giving her a platform. We should not be engaging with her. And, she goes on TikTok live almost every single night, and people donate to her, and people keep commenting like cheese emojis and stuff like that. And honestly, I get it. It's funny to make fun of her, and we should, because she's a bad person. But at the same time, this is giving her money, and we're just letting her have the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Honestly, at this point, the last thing I want to talk about before chapter 5 is that, oh, my computer fell. The last thing I want to talk about before chapter 5 is that, and actually I didn't even talk about this in the scripted version, she tries to tell us that she's transgender, but she has gone on to say that she is completely a femboy and doesn't want to be a woman. But my thing is, if you are transgender, why would you go on to say that you're a femboy, that you don't want people to know, you don't want people to think that you're a woman? Why would you, if you're going to be a transgender woman, which is a woman, by the way, we are not doing transphobia over here. If you're going to be a woman, why would you not want to be known as a woman? Why would you tell people that you don't want to be a woman? Why would you tell people that you're good being a femboy? Why would you be misogynistic about women? Why would you tell women that you don't want to be them because they have periods every month, when periods are part of life? That's something that every woman goes through. And the fact that we're telling them that we don't want to be them because they have periods is just so belittling. Honestly, I don't understand why she does this. I don't know. I honestly feel like she has a few screws loose in her head, because there's no way that you say you want to be a woman, but then tell women that you don't want to be them at the same time because they have periods. And obviously, I'm just beating a dead horse at this point, because it's just so insane to me how she wants to double back about what she said before, when I don't know. It's very concerning. And honestly, I do fully believe that this is weird and just like this is just psychological warfare at this point. She's trying so hard to convince herself that she is a good person that it comes back around to her being a bad person again. And I understand wanting to redeem yourself for all the things you've done in the past, but the fact that you just go on to be problematic again and again and again, time after time after time, it doesn't help her case. And honestly, I'm trying so hard to see where the good is in her, but I can't see it. And I would like to say that I would like to say that I don't engage with her, but I do. Obviously, for this whole thing, I need to engage with her, which is honestly the last time I am, because I can't keep giving somebody like this a platform, somebody this delusional, somebody this weird, somebody this, I don't know, just interesting. All in all, that's all I have. It's crazy. I don't know what else to say about her, so I'm just gonna finish this and move on to the next chapter. Chapter 5, My Personal Opinion. All in all, Barnyard is a terrible person. A wannabe Nicki Minaj weirdo who does nothing but think she's the best person on earth and can do no wrong. Is self-centered, completely racist, misogynistic, transphobic, ignorant, colorist, ableist, and almost everything in the book. She sits on TikTok Live and X all day trying to make herself look like she's unbothered, but deep down is insecure and knows she can never come back from something like this. If I had a ranking system for this series, she would be on the S tier, for the most amount of issues one influencer can have. And I say influencer very loosely. Barnyard should consider a different career, if she could find a job. And with that, I rest my case. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching and being part of the orbit. I have linked the website in the description of this video so you can understand and support what Palestinians are going through right now. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share with anyone you know. And I'll see you next time with the third episode of Saturn's Craft Returns. Goodbye!